trend here. Not as perfect as I thought, but then, okay, so what do we do here? We look at this and we start to identify where to go into these positions. Like this would have been perfect right here. You would have looked at this and you would have said, okay, we're breaking trend. We're going to have a pullback and test. This is like perfect thing to start looking to scalp. Even we'll go to the 15-minute, maybe that's a little better. So we look for the hold level, right? You break trend. What are you going to back test? You're going to back test a pretty significant level breaking that kind of trend. So it looks like there's a valley here and there's a valley here. Looks like kind of there's a valley here that's been tested already. So possibly right here, because that valley is already tested. So this valley is already tested, right? So you're going to go to the next valley that starts the move. So this is kind of the hold level. And actually that ends up being the hold level that's perfect. So you break trend and you would identify where the scalp is. You're going to back test something. You're either going to back test by trend right here, right? So that would be where you can enter a scalp pretty successfully. Like you're coming to trend, maybe you missed trend, you already broke trend, and you say, okay, we broke trend, we're going to back test trend and buy there, which is good because that's a good scalp position. Actually, that's perfect entry. 3% move is that nice little 3% move. God, do this every day. Look how easy this move is. Break trend, back test trend, buy it, and sell some 2% position. That would be freaking rich, right? Or even here, right? And then you just sell the value up again, 5%, right? Like, it doesn't have to be some crazy move. Like, yes, okay, there was a good move. It looks like, okay, you pretty clearly see the origin right here. That's clear as day right there to me. There's an origin there based off the failure here, and then there's an origin like right there. Yeah, you can see that one too. And actually, that's not the origin. It's right here. I wonder if it's right here. There's a little inverse there. So I wonder if this is the top of something right here. I'd assume that this is the top of a 30-minute by the looks of it. That looks like a 30-minute valley, which I don't typically use, but this does look like a 30-minute. This is an origin level right here. Yeah, it's some in the middle level, some like weird 30-minute level. You can kind of tell the way it looks that there's some like weird 30-minute level or something like that in there. Not even maybe. Yeah, like right there, it starts. See 22:30 right there, 22:35 timestamps. There's like some weird 30-minute valley start there. I think that would be a 30-minute valley start. Yeah, so some weird 30-minute valley start that starts some like local valley that gets rejected. But okay, say we don't want to use that. Say we want to be really nitty and just use the top of this. Well, what did that attack? It attacked this, right? Or did it inverse off this? Okay, so it inversed off this valley here. It was just like a hourly valley. Yeah, 1855, 1900. There's an hourly valley that starts right here, goes down. So fine, it inverses off that. So really the breakout level is this one right here. But yeah, okay, so where do you get in? Like, that's the thing, right? You got to look for perfect entry. Yes, you broke trend, but look for that perfect entry, right? Back test trend or break down to that hold. That's fine. And then, your position here, best case scenario, 10%. That's pretty unrealistic, like to buy the very bottom and buy the very top. But really the bottom is actually focusing on perfect entry is actually quite easy. This side of it is actually quite predictably. You're able to say, like, you can always enter here. Like this is, as long as you saw the TA, like we picked this level out pretty quickly. Like, as long as you saw the TA, what was it, the hourly that we looked at? Yeah, the hourly valley before the leg up, and then there's a valley inside of there. So we simply mark the top of the hourly as the topmost valley, because in this scenario, this is the topmost valley that could be before the start of the move. So this is the topmost valley that can be hit between all these valleys in here. So this is where I would just quickly start, mark a level. You can buy there. This is relatively going to be accurate. It's not relatively accurate. It's exactly accurate 99% of the time. And where it moves to then is up to you. But that's where you would start to look. Something happens, and then you have to look for the perfect entry after it happens, right? So it's a very long answer to your question, Kruller, but that's also a very big important part of what we're talking about today. Okay, take a little coffee here. Excuse me. Oh, but what I meant by buy on the trend and watch it free roll is like this magnet. So you have trend, right? So when you have trend, swing to swing like this, what I mean by free roll is if you bought trend. So for example, if you bought trend, like, let's use the replayer to illustrate this right here. So there's a trend touch here associated with a hold level. So let's say you bought the trend or the hold level, either one. So this is going to be a point where to get out in a neutral position, right? So if you bought at 506, let's say you're like the super nit and you're like, okay, I'm buying a 506 because that's one sat over trend. Say you like do this ridiculous strategy where you buy one sat over trend regardless of the coin. Like Link is 10,000 and two sats, and you buy at 10,001 where trend is, but 10,000 you won't buy, neither will you buy 10,002. It's 10,001 or no, like no go, right? So say you buy trend, right? Like that, so trend touches, and you've bought some small amount afterwards. It's a free roll because you can only move up against trend, because you'll only ever be in profits until it fails. Say it goes here, inverse is here, and then comes down like this, and inverse is here again and breaks trend and fails. You can sell right here because you're still in profits from your entry, because over time, even if you bought right here, trend touch, the third candle. So this is like really like the nittiest position you could take. You have this candle to like this is literally the nittiest it gets. This to this candle creates trend. You buy the next touch of it. Like that's so nitty. It's not even funny. I would recommend that. Like that's why I say it's really nitty. You'll only ever be in profits until trend breaks, because you'll only ever be moving up against trend, and you can always sell when trend failure happens. And even if you dump on trend failure, if your buy was here, you can still exit in profits, even if you're not as quick to react. So you will always be free rolling trend if you buy trend. So it's a really good thing to do. If you buy trend, you'll always be free rolling it, because you'll only fail the move. Failure is so easy to see on trend break. You're literally watching it, and it's like a big graphic on your screen, and there's a line like this, and when the candle goes like this, it's failure. Like how can you mistake that? Like it's like a 1-year-old would understand. Like you have a trend and something is moving through it, so it goes down, right? So it's like it's always a free roll, right? Because you buy trend and you'll always be in profits until it breaks, and the moment it breaks, it's just like sell. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it breaks, and the result after, it doesn't matter. Like it never matters. You could do this, break, go down here, move up 500%. If you sold right here, you sold for profits, it's always correct. That's not saying it was correct to sell when you could have made 500% profit, but that's saying if you were to develop a bot that would always buy the correct trend and always sell the second it broke, it would never not be in profit. It would always be in profit. Every single time I would have 100% trade accuracy for profits, because even if it's 0.01% profits, because trend touch break like this, you could still get out in profits. But 95% of the time trend is going to hold like this, and it's just going to continue to move up until, what if trend doesn't break until you're over here, right? And then you made how much percentage in profits based on this. You don't care about it swinging up to here. You don't care about the big swings up to targets. All you care about is buying trend and letting it free roll until it breaks, until it breaks. And then, where are your profits, right? Your profits are 5%, or this could just go on. Like this could be hyper cash, and it could just go on for the next 3 weeks, and you could be in 400% profits because trend never broke, right? Like that's like Bitcoin. Trend has not broken on Bitcoin yet, global trend. So like, again, that's like a scalp trend versus a position trend versus a different trend. Like that's like a free roll position where you buy trend and you just sell. Like you have two cases where you sell on trend, right? Like you either sell here, you either sell target, or you sell trend break. So you bought here or you bought here. Let's say you bought here right now. You bought this trend touch. Your only two things that you're ever going to touch on this trade is a profit take or a profit take. That's it. And then, so fine, like let's look at what happens. Touches trend. We're not even going to do anything until it breaks trend. It doesn't matter. Like, okay, so you sold right there. You made profits. Boom, right there. You made profits. Everything else is irrelevant, right? You can always free roll this position. This is a 0.2% profit, but it's still a profit. That's what it means. Like that's what like free rolling a trend means. Now, whether it goes up and hits its next target, maybe you're really good and you sold this instead, and you just bought the next trend touch instead. Maybe you never. Maybe this is actually where you took entry right here. So maybe this, like you didn't even get in here. Maybe you actually wanted to see the trend confirm even a little better, right? Like right here. So fine, you bought there, and let's see where it goes, right? So now you're just free rolling. You're already in profits. You bought trend. It bounced off. Really, the right thing was to buy there was the hold level, which is fine. A hold level or trend, like whatever you decide is correct. Where does it go? Right? It's still see how it's just free rolling trend. Like it's just free rolling trend. So maybe you just took profits there. I don't know. Maybe you haven't taken profits yet. Maybe you're just letting it go. I don't know. But wherever you took profits, that's the thing about trend. Even like when it broke here, you're still your trend entry right here, right? If you sold here, you're still in profits. If you sold here, you're still in profits. If you sold here, you're still in profits, Right? In this scenario, the hold level is the correct thing to buy and the trend break is the correct thing to sell. Or actually even more correct is this level here to sell when you bought the trend. So that's what I mean by free rolling, is that you'll always be in profits as long as you catch the trend break.
Hey everyone, how's it going? As you know, I'm now giving out some of this content for free that I was otherwise charging for the past little while. Yeah, drop a donation, subscribe to the channel, join Patreon. You'll get access to Discord. Great way. Lots of top level traders in there, people who are doing this for a career every single day. So go to Patreon, join a tier, get access to Discord. Go on Reddit, talk about future of trading, talk about the science of trading, talk about cotton candy, socials, everything you can. Let's help this thing grow. It's the way you guys can thank me for giving out this content for free that I was otherwise charging money for. So I'll leave a Bitcoin address on the screen. I'll leave the Patreon address on the screen. Just do something to help out. Okay, thanks guys. Take care.